Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of 22 Minutes.
Allow myself to introduce myself.
I am Jason Bates. I'm going to bring you the lender side of things, and he is Stephen Cotton. He's going to bring us the realtor side of things. I'll give you the applause this time. There you go.
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
There's the
Thanks,
applause.
everybody. Oh, my goodness. It
Yeah,
feels so
so-
humbling. So
There you
humbling.
go. There you go. All right, cool, man. Hey, we hope to not only entertain you, but also bring you some valuable content that you can actually use when you're looking to buy, sell, or refinance property here in Phoenix, or I guess maybe anywhere.
Yeah.
The information is universal, whether it's here in Phoenix or anywhere else. But if you are looking to buy, sell, refinance, or invest in property here in Phoenix, we certainly would love to be your team of choice. So please reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you.
Why not?
Yeah, we do this Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. So if you're a first-time watcher, this is a show all about, not a shoe, a show, all about real estate. Stefan, keep your comments to yourself, please, on that.
Right. Well,
So, hey,
phone
thanks.
seconds are cool.
Oh, go ahead. I was going to say, hey, thanks for joining us. We really do appreciate you taking time out of your day to listen to what us two guys have to say about real estate. Today, Trending Tuesday. Trending Tuesday. We're going to cover some trends that are out there. And I came across some articles. I'm not going to give it away just yet. We're also going to dive into some of the numbers with a Cromford report. That's a local report here in Phoenix. And what do those numbers tell us about some of the trends that may be happening or beginning to happen here in Phoenix? So we'll get into that too. But before we do that, let's do our tweet quote of the day.
Yep. Give it away. Give it away. Give it away now.
All right. We're almost into October, right?
Yeah. we're
Almost
doing
into
good.
October. Yeah. Every strike brings me closer to the next home run. And I thought this was kind of appropriate, a little bit spin on it for the real estate world. There's a lot of people out there who aren't getting their offers accepted. They're, hunting for the right house that fits their lifestyle, and they're just having some strikeouts there. Stick with it, guys. Stick with it. Stay in there. It's going to
Well,
get
we run
better.
into it all the time, right? I mean, I run into people all the time that are tired. In fact, I met this guy Thursday who's tired of losing houses. So we looked at a house on Friday. We wrote an offer. Got a couple counters. We accepted the counter today or yesterday.
Hmm.
But go back to that tweet quote of the day. I want to show you something because when we try to relate this thing back to relate this thing back to home ownership, if we were to just do ... after the word home, that
Yeah.
would be so much like every strike brings me closer to the next home.
There you
Dot,
go.
dot, dot. And
Right.
that could still be a Babe Ruth quote. Yeah, taken
Yeah.
out of context.
Yeah. That's a
Good
That's a
call.
deep tweet.
There
Yeah,
you go.
deep tweet.
there you go. That's a deep tweet. Nice job. Nice job.
All right. Thanks.
All right, cool. So, hey, we got a lot of stuff we got to cover. I want to get into the numbers here. So let's get into Trending Tuesday. All right, first thing here, Stefan, that I want to kind of get into in light of Harvey and Irma and now Marie, right, bearing down on the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. I came across an article yesterday. It said houses that are built to a higher standard fared better in Harvey. So in Houston, there was an article about Houston.
Wait a minute. Are you saying like the Three Little Pigs kind of had?
Exactly.
There's a moral to that story.
There is a moral to that story. Well, in Houston, apparently, okay, in Houston, they kind of let builders and developers kind of just build wherever they wanted to build. Had a minimum standard, but really, that was it. It was kind of cost cutting, I think, maybe, and just let them build wherever, in floodplains or, wherever the case may be. So my question is to you, do you think that the public will start to demand higher quality of construction?
Well, it's not whether they demand it or not. It's supply and demand. You know,
Hmm.
at the end of the day, if you're, and it's kind of like the car commercials, right? Voted,
Right,
voted,
right.
whatever class, whatever. But it's if you're a builder and you build a superior home,
Hmm.
start announcing it. Look at, if I was a builder in
Hmm.
Texas, and I'd be like, our homes withstood the you know, the
Yeah.
the damage. Our homes are higher quality. Do you want
Mhm.
to go with another builder or do you want to go with us? We cost 20,000 more, by the way. Big deal, right? I mean,
Well, and that's going to lead up to my next segment too, right? Because you're right. Quality equals price in a lot of cases,
right.
right?
So I would think people should be demanding it by what they purchase. Here in Arizona, we have, I think, a floodplain. We have two floodplains. We have two,
Flash
maybe
floods.
more.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but it's not a lot, right? So for us, it's
Right.
not. So when we're talking about this, we're talking more globally. Although
Right.
we should be, as Arizonians, should be demanding more for keeping the coolness in the house and the efficiencies of the windows and things like
Yeah.
that, because that's the energy cost that you're spending instead of on the house.
Well, and I'll give you a personal one. I just had my roof done a couple years ago, and tile roofs are pretty popular here in Arizona. The roofer came to me and said, "Hey, I need to buy extra tile." I'm like, "What do you mean extra tile? Would you break some, or some of them cracked or whatever?" And he's like, "No, it's not that they're cracked or anything like that. They short tiled you." I said, "What do you mean short tiled?" He's like, "They took your tile and they stretched it out, and so by the
Oh,
time it got to the bottom, they didn't
right.
need an extra row."
Yeah,
So
yeah.
quality, right? There's the builder cutting corners, and not doing the proper installation of the
Instead of
tiles.
like a 2 inch or 3 inch gap, they give you like a 4 or 5 inch thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
stretched out. That's terrible.
yeah. So quality construction, I think, is one of those things. You think of a new home builder, hey, it looks great, it smells like paint, it smells good,
Yeah.
but you got to get in the meat and bones, meat and potatoes of it. Now, the reason I bring that up is because it leads into this next thing here. Let me pull up the slide here, and that is of co-borrowers, right? Co-borrower. So a lot of co-borrowers, we have seen prices go up. We've talked about wage and wages not keeping up necessarily with the cost of living and house prices, that sort of thing. And so there is a trend right now of a lot of co-borrowers out there. So it says here, a new report from the real estate information provider Atom Data, Atom Data, ATTOM, shows that in the second quarter, 22.8% of mortgage purchase applications involved a co-borrower, up from 21.3% in the prior quarter and 20.5% in the year earlier. So there is this trend of additional co-borrowers. I don't know if this is millennials or first-time homebuyers asking parents to co-sign, that sort of thing. But it does go on to say that a deeper dive into the numbers did determine that most of the buyers are buying smaller homes, but more expensive homes, and doing it with lower interest rates and money down, which allows them to avoid paying mortgage insurance. So it alluded to the fact that it was a lot of first-time home buyers that were
Yeah.
needing co-borrowers, which makes sense.
Well, and getting rid of that mortgage insurance is good. I did a non-occupying co-borrower about 5 years ago. I haven't done it as much, but I bring it up once in a while. Like, can they?
Hmm.
I think if someone's got the credit or something and can help or help with the gift down payment or something, I
Right.
think I think you should, because it only helps everybody.
Yeah. The only thing though, just be careful. Because if you default on the mortgage or whatever, you hurt your credit if you're the co-borrower, right? If you try to apply for something else, you've got to account for that payment. You may not be able to qualify given your debt to income ratio. So there are some downsides to it. If you listen to Susie Orman or Dave Ramsey in particular, he says never mix business with family.
Yes.
And a house is business in his eyes. So
How soon
co-signing.
can you refinance? I heard something really cool yesterday. I went to our office meeting, and he was talking about like using the DPA to get the 5% down.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
a higher interest rate, yes, but then after 6 months, refinancing it back to the lower interest rate, so you get a free, you net out maybe 3.5%.
Yeah, I mean you can do that. I mean there's no prepayment penalties or anything like that for doing a refinance.
So you do
Um,
refinance for the DPA. I mean, so that's pretty good, like for your playbook. So now I'm writing this down for my playbook. But
mhm,
the other thing is, if you had a co-borrower, how
mhm.
soon before you could refinance them out?
As soon as you qualify.
Okay, so
As
we're
soon as you
talking. I mean, it
qualify.
could be 4, 5, 6 months. And actually, when you
Yeah.
start making mortgage payments and you have this equity, then you qualify a little quicker. Sometimes it bumps you up.
Well, they're going to take the lower of the two within the first 12 months, either purchase price or appraised value. In some cases, not all cases, you can use the appraised value, but
I'm just talking about. I'm not talking about just refinance them out, get the other people out,
Yeah,
lower
just
the
a rate and
interest.
term refinance. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but the equity position does determine the interest rate, even on a rate and term. So the higher the
Okay.
equity position, the easier it is. If you got a 100% loan and you're trying to refinance, into a, you could do an FHA streamline refinance, but you got to have savings. There are certain thresholds in order to qualify for that streamline. So it's not always, you got to save the person 5% over their current payment to do an
Okay.
FHA streamline. So they don't want people, just because there are costs associated with a refinance, and they don't want the
So
costs added into the loan
right.
and then taking up that equity that you just
So let's
try to
wait.
build.
Let's wait 12 months then and see if the
Yeah.
appraisal comes in higher. Okay.
Yeah. 12 months is probably a good safe bet. All right. But just be aware of the costs. You don't want to get into, your house being a ATM kind of thing. Okay. So let's get into these numbers here with the Crawford report.
All right. Where we hitting?
I just hit Maricopa County for right now on this particular one right here. I'll pull it up here. Just active listings. Hopefully you guys can see it. What I found kind of interesting about this, Stefan, is that here at the beginning of the year, or not even beginning of the year, toward the
You're
middle
on.
of the
And
year, right? Just it seems as though it's kind of trending a little bit up as far as inventory.
oh, it is. Yeah. Yeah. I think we talked about that a couple weeks ago. How just the same amount of closings. So what we see here, and this is almost weekly, right? I think that's weekly or daily.
Yeah, this is daily.
So new houses hit the market. What day? What day do they mostly close? Probably Friday. What do you think? What do you think that is? If we were to, what day is
Um,
15th?
nine
Let's see. That's
16.
960. That's Saturday. That's the highest.
Yeah.
And then what's the next one? Oh, over to the left one.
Oh,
The other left. So
no.
9:15. So most of the closings happen on Thursday and Friday. It looks like, and then you could probably just see that throughout the week.
Right.
Houses that hit the market on Friday, more houses hit the market on Friday, so that kind of increases the inventory.
Mhm.
Saturday, nobody's closing on Saturday or Sunday, and then we start closing again on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
Mhm.
Friday. Start
Mhm.
closing again. But yeah, but what you're saying in general is you can see how these peaks are going up higher and higher. So there is more inventory.
Well, even if we look at the low peaks here, there's 11,583. This one's 11,006,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
11,620, pretty even. 11,677. Here we are now, 11,775. So it seems as though maybe we're starting to rebound a little bit when it comes to
Yep.
inventory,
I
which
agree.
which is a good thing. So it's going to level that playing field out. What's interesting to me, Stefan, is even though there's been low inventory, and these are all just normal sales, not condos, not short sales or anything like that in Maricopa County total, is that we still see, even in a quote unquote seller's market, still see a lot of need for seller concessions.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a need for it. Now the sellers, the offer that I just got accepted, the seller was complaining about it. Let's not leave here yet because I want to talk
Oh,
about 52 weeks ago.
okay.
Um, just to compare where we're at, and your picture's right above the 52 weeks ago. But there you go. But people are complaining about it now, so I say, well, we don't have to pay for it, or else we can wait a little longer and hit the days on the market. Um, you know, or we can counter back a little higher. And the appraisals have been coming in. And my experience has been that I think it
Yeah.
sells for 175. We got an offer at 179. The appraisal came in at 179,
Right.
which isn't typically the case with FHA 2 years ago, right? If I think it's going to sell for 175, FHA appraiser says 160.
Right.
But yeah, so the people still need the concessions. So there's ways around it. We talked about it. Some of our strategies is tying it into the loan, maybe giving a little credit.
Right.
But whenever you're first time home buyer, it's always tough. Yeah.
Right.
So before we get to another slide here, see September 14th, a year ago today, almost a year ago
Yeah.
last week, 12,800 houses. So we had little under 800 houses more last year at this time. But I
Yeah.
also wanted to show you the trend that's happening because it's happening right now and it happens cyclical. So as you can
Mhm.
see, the inventory is going up higher right now,
Mhm.
and it probably doesn't dip down until maybe I think that is January or something. Is that,
Yeah.
um,
November, December.
yeah, because that's the highest inventory that people start buying because the snowbirds get back into town.
Yeah.
So usually around Thanksgiving, the snowbirds come back to town. So 14,312. I bet you we hit about 13.8 or 13.5 around this time this
Mhm.
year, and it'd be kind of fun to see where we hit. But yeah, I say we hit 13.8 or something.
Which is a good time for buyers that are frustrated out there. This is the whole point of the, hey, hitting a home run or whatever. Stick in there because inventory, there's going to be additional inventory hitting the market. So you're going to have a few more choices to choose from here between now and the end of the year.
I think we're good.
We're good? Okay. All right. So let me see if I can't jump over to this other one here. Yeah, we're good. Snapshots. I like to do snapshots. I don't know. You want to do a city snapshot?
And we could just do the big overall. I mean, we can get in specifics in the cities maybe on Fridays or something.
Let's go to, I don't know. I don't know if there's really,
What are you looking at? Great.
sorry,
Information's there.
I'm trying to get to the right one here. I know it's a little messy, but normal snapshot.
Yeah, normal sales. I'm trying to move my mouse with you. It's kind of funny. I have my mouse. And so like, when you're doing it, I'm trying to look over too.
Well,
Our active listings versus last year.
yeah. Now this is, I think this covers not just Maricopa County, because the last one we did was just Maricopa County. So I think that's why there's a difference here of 19,000 versus 12,000 there.
Well, plus I think it's all the houses, right? Unless you
Yeah, it's all the houses, condos, and all that kind of stuff. Right,
Yeah.
right. So pending listings, that's almost equal, right, to last month.
Right. Let me get to the pending. Yeah, 20 different. That's nothing. I mean,
It's nothing to compare.
one house per. That's not even one house per subdivision. It's one house per city, right? Like Glendale, Peoria.
Right.
There's one extra one in each one. Yeah. So we look at the sales last month, or the revolving 12. We had 800 more closings, right?
Right. Well, that's last month at the same time. Yeah, so 800 more, right? Last quarter. I mean, these numbers here, monthly sales, days on market, 65, 64. So it seems to be creeping up too. That's an indication of additional inventory on the market.
The month supply is creeping up to 2.7. I remember when we talked about this at 2.3.
Right.
Less than 2 months supply when we get down to single family. It seemed like a couple months ago. But now we have almost a 3 month supply. We talk about 4 to 5 months as a healthy market. That's usually an equilibrium
Right.
of enough houses for people to find one they like. The issue we have is people aren't selling a house until they find the house they want. Then they put their house on the market. And so it's been like a gridlock, right? Okay, we need a 6-day close. Okay, we need a 6-day close. Now the people that are buying it that might be selling their house, so we need 40 days extra.
Right.
It's a whole house of not dominoes, but it's a whole house of delayed escrows. And so until everyone's comfortable with putting their house on the market and finding the right house, in the theory is we'll find our house while we're selling our house.
Mm-hmm.
The inventory won't go up, and I think that's probably the key. In my head, that's the biggest issue is the sellers aren't looking to sell until they find the right house. Without the idea, if you're going to list a house and you're going to sell it, say, okay, I want a 60-day escrow, it might work out good because the buyers might be needing to sell their house. But that way it gives you 60 days to find a house. But you don't want to sell your house of memories to a house that you don't really love. We talked about that.
The other thing I want to mention here, too, that earlier in the week or late last week, I heard some reports coming out about interest rates. And I don't like to talk about interest rates per se on the show. However, this is Trending Tuesday, and there is word now. We've been preaching, or a lot of people have been preaching, interest rates are going to increase by the end of the year. Federal Reserve's pulling out of mortgage-backed securities and the purchase of those and so on and so forth, which is going to cause an increase in interest rates. Well, there's now a lot of economists saying, look, the Fed's probably not going to raise the interest rate for the rest of the year, remaining of the year. And in fact, interest rates may even go down further by the end of the year. So if that happens, it'll be interesting to see how that impacts these numbers and the affordability and price points with people. We may not see, like you said, as much inventory because we know there are quite a few buyers out there who are wanting to buy and people who are wanting to sell to move up into maybe a larger home or different area or whatever. And lower interest rates are going to help facilitate that. So we may not see as much inventory. We'll see. I think
Yeah, I
we
heard
will
that
see
inventory's
more inventory. But
I
go
think
ahead.
so. Well, I mean, the trends tell us that. I mean, if we look at
Yeah.
the last graph, we'll get more inventory, and people start pulling the trigger again. But people just have to feel comfortable selling their house. It used to be that people were selling their maybe investment property, and that gets on the market.
Right.
Right now, people are selling their dream homes. So,
Right.
or I'm not the dream homes, but the ones that owner occupant homes. But yeah.
Yeah. There's not really much foreclosures or month supply. I mean, there's really not much. I mean, I'll pull up other ones here. We're almost out of time anyway. But
Yeah.
is there another one that you want to look at real quick, or?
No, I thought we'd hit this thing on Friday, but I mean, I just on this graph itself, 81 days on the market. So there's a new program out that we had somebody do my numbers and stuff, and he said that based on the numbers, I'm 18% faster than the average days on market, which is going to be kind of a neat tool to show you guys too. Once I get this thing up and running, it'll show specific towns, average days on market. You can kind of like the comfort report, but a little easier, cleaner to see. I think it's look at this active list price per square foot.
Yeah.
That's an increase of 36.5%. Is that from the revolving year from a year ago?
I don't know. I don't know why it shows up and then it's in red. I'm not sure. I don't really understand that, to be honest with you.
I think 12 months ago. Yeah, why is it red and up? Yeah, that's interesting. There's got to be a code.
I think this is the average square foot of a house, right? 1971.
Yeah, the annual sales 1971.
Yeah. And then up here, monthly sales $149 a square foot.
Yep, $149. So what I'm talking about is that the price increase per square foot has increased 36.5% since a year ago.
Right.
So see where the 149. So last year is probably maybe 112 or something.
Yeah. Right. Well, I guess we're beginning. I guess the moral of the story is here. We're beginning, and we're out of time here, so I'm going to merge this over. But we're beginning to get into this little bit higher inventory right now here in Phoenix. And I imagine this is probably true for a lot of areas. Maybe, I don't know, maybe not Florida, but I would think a lot of areas are going to start seeing more inventory, which is going to be good for buyers.
Maybe not Florida. You're funny. The inventory is going to go up because we see it traditionally going up. I think the inventory is going to go up to a spot where the buyers are going to feel a lot more comfortable finding their dream house and not just settling
Right.
like we were talking about.
Right. Right. All right. Well, that covers today's show. So thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you, Brian, for your comments below there. Hopefully looks like we covered your question maybe. You're going over it now. Apologies.
Want to make a comment. What about this report? Oh, never mind. You're doing it.
We're doing it now. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, hey, thanks everyone. Tomorrow's Wacky Wednesday. Same time, same bat channel, 9 a.m. Arizona time. So please join us for tomorrow's live show. You can always catch the replay on YouTube if you need to watch it while you're cleaning the house or doing other things, having background music or whatever. That's cool too. So everyone have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
All right.
I got to change that logo review.